I'm curious as well, like how this plays in with relationships. Like are there certain numbers that are more, I don't want to say that because it's just different energies coming out, right? But I mean, could you like add up, I mean, is this a thing where like if I took my birthday and then I added up the birthday of one of my friends or my partner and took that number, like, is that a thing? How could you use this in a relationship?
Oh my gosh, yes. Well, it's very similar, I would say, of how you would look at it astrologically in many ways. First of all, my full out disclaimer is that I don't believe personally that there are, bad numbers and good numbers and total compatibility and everything else. I think you can be absolutely compatible, on paper, and it just doesn't work. I think you can be really wonky on paper and it's like, you're this amazing relationship. So that's my disclaimer. The way I love to use it is to see who you are and what your vulnerabilities or what your weak links are or whatever that is, and then look at somebody else and see where the value systems come in and how you communicate and what's important to you. And let me give you, I'll just pull out one example. So let's say you're a 4 life path. Your values are, I want a root system. The 4 is always kind of healing some family wounding. We all are, but the 4, it's a very pinpointed. Security, stability, kind of the step-by-step, slow and steady, all of that. Now, I have a lot of people who are a 4 and they have a 5, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, right? What is the 5? That sensuous freedom seeker, fun and wanting the experience and go, 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 and might not show up on time and all of that, all the things that would drive a 4 like literally crazy. And yet, if you look at it, and so there are different ways of looking at it, the way that I would look at it. And if you look at someone like Angelina Jolie is a 5, and Billy Bob Thornton, her first husband, was a 4. And Brad Pitt, her second husband, is a 4. I think she was married also before that. I don't know her other husband, but we have tendencies, right? We attract certain people in our lives. We're like, why? Well, it's that interesting element with the 4 and the 5, to stay with that example. The 4, if you both are intentional and understand yourselves and want to work together as a, to elevate yourselves as individuals and as a couple, the 5 benefits when they have some grounding, when they have some structure, when they have some routine, when they have someone in their life that's like, honey, I know that you think you kind of might sort of have a headache coming on, but get over it. We're gonna, you gotta, right? They need someone to help them and support them on that level. The 4, on the other hand, needs or could benefit from the 5 saying, okay, now I know that you're on hour 10 of the day. You're going to stop now. Okay, I'm going to shut the computer. You're done. You can really be valuable co-partners there to get the best and most out of your life experience as your numerology predicates. So the 5 can lighten up, make the 4 more flexible, have a little more fun, maybe, because sometimes the 4 is like, I'll have fun when I'm done with my punch list, The 5 is like, honey, your punch list is never done, so we're going to go have fun now, and then you can go back to your punch list. So it's those sort of interplay that can come in. And then you've got, and then you can be with someone like, if you're a 2 and you're a 6, relationships, home, family, those are key values for that. That could be a very synergistic relationship. And yet it can also have its, it can also go off the rails. So all of us have these potentials, but the beautiful part is in knowing what our tendencies are, what our values are, and how we individually are playing those out at this point in our life. Because the way I played my 3 life path when I was in my 20s and the way I do it now is a lot different, right? So it depends on where we are. And I also like, as a little aside, with relationships, it's also really nice to know your cycles of time and to know if you're kind of in cahoots with each other, knowing where you're headed, like if you're headed, because a lot of couples will hit these points of where one person wants to engage their spiritual growth, and one person is like, who the hell are you? What happened to you? Right? I can't go there. I mean, I have a lot of people who, I have someone I have in my mind right now who was had her own she had her own medical practice for 25 years, and she built it up to be incredibly successful. She and her husband, very pragmatic, very success oriented, and suddenly she's like, I can't do this anymore. Something else is calling me. And she was not a spiritual person. She started meditating. She was drawn to these classes in conscious breath work. She retired from her 25-year practice, which was not logical. It was not rational. And she and her partner have had to have a lot of pretty deep conversations about where they're going individually and where they're going together. And numerology can often kind of structure that for us to show us our pathways and where they're going and what we're going to be, potentially working with together and individually.